Hello dear friends, this session I'm going to teach you lesson 4 of this vocabulary course book, that is 504 absolutely essential words on LELB Society at lelb.net. Okay, before starting, as usual, let me just show you the flashcards that might exist in this unit. I don't think there will be so many of flashcards because I can just create one flashcard per day. So this is keen and I have not illustrated it yet. Let me see. Jealous, that was repeated actually in the previous session. So as you can see there is just one photo dictionary item or English flashcards here, but as a matter of fact I have created and uploaded over 600 flashcards. Okay, this is session or lesson 4. Okay, so let me zoom in. Okay, as you can see, you can find us on lelb.net if you are new to our classes. Okay, so the first word is vapor. Vapor as a noun means actually steam, moisture in the air that can be seen, fog or mist. Also to some extent steam. Let me use my digital board and perhaps increase magnification. Okay, so that it will be more it will be easier for you to see. Okay, okay, so also the verb form of that is evaporate and evaporation. You see, evaporate means to change of liquids, to change to the gas status and to just go into the air. Okay, so sentences. Scientists have, let me make some changes here. Okay, scientists have devised methods for trapping vapor in bottles so that they can study its makeup. Scientists have devised, do you remember we covered it in the previous session? Devise means to think of, create and plan. Here invent also you can say. Methods or techniques for trapping or holding or keeping vapor or moist in bottles so that they can study, they refers to the scientists, study its makeup. Makeup here means configuration. Configuration or even constellation, format, pattern. Okay, so this is makeup. He has gathered data on the amount of vapor rising from the swamp. He has gathered data, or you can say collect for gather. Data. There is a difference between data versus information. The difference is that data, as a matter of fact, is not that processed. When you process data, the outcome would be called somehow information, or at least I can say that information is more processed. And also it's important for you to notice that information is always singular, so we don't have informations As you can see, there is a red line below that because actually information is uncountable. And the same is true about datas. We don't have datas. I thought it was important for you to know. So data gathering on the amount of vapor rising from the swamp. There is another difference between rise and raise. You know, rise is an intransitive verb. It means it doesn't have any object. Raise is a transitive verb. It means that it does have an object in English. So here it says vapor rises, so it doesn't have any object. So for example, we say the sun rises in the morning. Who raises the sun? God raises the sun. So here actually that is the difference between rise and raise. From the swamp. Swamp is a piece of land that is muddy, and actually it has some water but not so much, and usually it is polluted, and in terms of the hygiene factors this is called a swamp. Okay. A vapor trail is the visible stream of moisture left by the engines of a jet flying at high altitudes. Vapor trail. Trail is a long long line after something. The trace, the tag of something. So here you can say a line or queue in the visible stream of moisture. Again, actually a flow of something, a continuation of something, a stream of moisture, also a river of something in a figurative way. Yeah, left by the engines of a jet flying at a high altitude or height. Pay attention to the pronunciation of this word. It's not height, it's height. So as you might have seen, there are some jets that are not very big, tiny, generally small airplanes just crossing over the sky, and there is a tail, let's say a trail or a stream of vapor right behind them. Okay, this is all referring to that. The second word is eliminate. Eliminate means cross out, get rid of, discard, remove, omit. There are so many words that have the same meaning, such as obliterate and remove, and many words. English is so rich, seems to be rich in this concept. Okay, when the railroad tracks are raised, the danger of crossing will be eliminated. Okay, when the railroad tracks or railways are raised, it means actually they increase in number, and also they are set up. It means, for example, the government does something about it. The danger of crossing will be eliminated. The danger of crossing. Crossing here means intersection. Let me decrease magnification. It's too much, I suppose. Yeah, it's better. Intersection or collision or junction. It means that the possibility of colliding, that is hitting or striking two trains to each other on the roadway or road will become lower, or actually the prospect or danger or peril of collision of the trains would become lower. Okay, or even eliminated. I don't think that it is eliminated completely, but the dangers would decrease. Okay. B. When figuring the cost of a car, it means considering the price of a car, eliminate such extras as air conditioning. Do not consider, cross it out. Such extras, it means excesses, or according to British pronunciation, excesses, as air conditioning, because air conditioning is built-in feature, and you should not just pay for that. It is a part of the car. Okay. If we were to eliminate all reclining chairs, no one would fall asleep while watching television. If we if we were to, it means that if we were supposed to, if it was planned that we did something, if we were scheduled to do something. Eliminate or remove the reclining chairs means armchairs, okay, or sofas, or let's say couches. So if we could just remove them or eliminate them, no one would fall asleep while watching television, because actually it's so comfortable to just recline and lie down and watch television. For example, there are some snacks nearby, and little by little you will become a couch potato. Let me write it down here. Couch potato is a TV fan. That is a person actually who is addicted to the telly and TV. Also you can say telly. Telly, I think it is figuratively written in this way, but it's not that common. Let me see. So telly, it means television set or TV. Okay, they watch TV a lot. It's clear. Number 3. Okay, villain. Villain is a very wicked person. Wicked means vicious, means immoral. Let me write vicious. Yeah, bad-tempered means yeah, it's clear. Wicked person. A typical moving picture villain gets killed at the end. That's why actually everybody likes to enjoy a happy ending. Okay, we say happy ending. Let me write it down. Happy ending. Stories with happy endings are more likable and people like it more. So and the a villain is, this word is used in plays or stories or novels. It refers to a bad character. Okay, and the opposite of that, or the other character that is cherished or loved, is called a protagonist. Let me write it down. Okay. The villain, okay, sentence B, the villain concealed the corpse in the cellar. Concealed means hide in the simple past tense, that is hid the corpse or dead body in the cellar or basement. Basement refers to the story or floor right below the ground floor. Okay, so it is the subterranean, let's say, part of any house or place. It means under the ground. Subterranean means under the ground. Let me write it down. Subterranean. Yeah, sub means below, That's why we have subway in Latin, and terra means the earth. Okay, that's why we have terra firma, means solid land. So subterranean means below the earth or ground. When the villain fell down the well, everyone lived happily ever after. When the bad character fell is the past tense of fall. Fall down the well. Well again actually refers as a noun. Well means shaft. As a noun means shaft, or according to British pronunciation, shaft, and it means actually a passage into the lower part of something. For example, basement or cellar. So it's a passage. So when he fell down, everyone lived happily ever after, because actually he was a very bad person, or maybe she, we are not sure. Okay. Number 4, dense. Dense means closely packed together, thick. For example, we say densely populated area. We write it down. It means that particular area is overpopulated. Okay. Or dense trees, dense fog. These are some nouns that collocate with dense. The dense leaves on the trees let in a minimum of sunlight. As a matter of fact, that area had a lot of trees with dense leaves that the sunlight could not even reach the ground. Okay, it's clear. We couldn't row because of the dense weeds in the lake. We couldn't row. Row as a verb means to use some rows in order to make the boat move through the water. So we were on the boat, but we couldn't row, we couldn't make the boat move because of the dense weeds, some plantation or vegetables that are generally parasites, because weeds are parasites to some extent in the lake. Okay. It means they are not, by parasite I mean not pleasant, so they are extra, and they are just feeding on the let's say nourishment and foods of the other plants that are called let's say crops, C-R-O-P, crops. Okay, sentence C. His keen knife cut through the dense jungle. So his keen means sharp here. Knife cut through the dense jungle. Yeah, maybe actually they were he was in a dense in a jungle with dense trees and leaves, and it was somehow necessary to just cut off some branches in order to navigate and to just go through the jungle. Okay. Number 5, utilize. Utilize and utilization as a noun means make use of. Okay, to use. Even you can say maximize. When you use maximize, it means make great use of something. So you use something up. When you use something up. So they are not completely synonymous. No one seems willing to utilize this vacant house. No one appears to be eager or show willingness to use this vacant or empty house. Maybe actually the house is haunted. Let me write it down. I said maybe. Okay, or occupied by some vicious spirits. Okay. The gardener was eager to utilize different flowers and blend them in order to beautify the borders. Yeah, the gardener, because actually no one else, generally other people cannot do that. It requires a lot of artistic talent. Was eager or willing or inclined to use or utilize different flowers and blend or mix or stir them in order to beautify, means make it beautiful, the borders. The borders or some gaps. Okay, so when, let me see, yeah, it's important for a gardener to trim some turfs. Let me write it down. Trim means to beautify, for example, to just decorate turf or lawn. Okay. Sentence C. Does your mother utilize leftovers in her cooking? It's a question. Utilize leftover is the remaining part of the food belonging to the previous meal. For example, it is night and you're supposed to have your dinner, and then your mother, for example, just uses the remaining part of your lunch in her cooking. Humid. Number 6. Humid means moist, damp, wet. And the noun form is humidity. Humidity. Just add ity. And also the verb form is humidify. Let me write it down. Okay. It was so humid in our classroom that we wished the school would buy an air conditioner. Yeah. It was so humid. It was so humid. Pay attention to my intonation. It was so humid in our classroom that we wished the school would buy an air conditioner or a kind of ventilator to just diminish or decrease or control actually the level of humidity. For example, let me just give you another example about the same structure, grammatical structure, because actually in this course I'm not going to teach you just vocabulary, grammar, and anything that is relevant could be even practiced. For example, I said I can say the tea is so hot that I cannot drink it. The tea is so hot that I cannot drink it. Pay attention to this structure. So plus adjective plus that plus a complete sentence. The same is true here. It was so humid in our classroom that plus a complete sentence. You see? Okay. B. New Yorkers usually complain in the summer of the humid air. Those who live in New York usually generally complain or grumble, do you remember? Or nag or showed their disapproval or lack of let's say satisfaction. They show their dissatisfaction in the summer because of the humid or wet or moist air. Sentence C. Most people believe that ocean air is quite humid. It's clear. It must be humid because actually the water just evaporates, and do you remember? And there is a layer of vapor right above the surface of the water. Leaves the ocean air is quite humid. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, I cannot edit this video file, for example, play some music because I don't have time, and I think that actually it's not that important because you focus on the quality of this class. and you can also pause this video and have a coffee or something, and then actually get back on track. Okay. So and also pay attention to this. Quite is an intensifier. It means so much. Okay, number 7, theory. Theory, it's a very simple word. Explanation based on thought, observation, or reasoning. Reasoning means argumentation, bringing or using some reason. Observation means witnessing, seeing something, paying attention to something, generally through using your eyes, but maybe actually through using other senses such as hearing, but basically watching. An explanation and thought. And the person who proposes, we say actually propose a theory, or even postulate a theory, is called a theoretician. A theoretician is a person who theorizes. The verb form is theorize. It means to give or offer theories. And also there are 2 adverbs in English. When we say something is in theory, something is in practice. Okay. In theory, it means that we are not completely sure. It has been theorized, but it has not been practiced. But something is in practice, it means that actually it is practical. It is applicable. Okay. Einstein's theory is really so difficult, or too difficult for the average person to understand. Okay. Einstein theory, it refers to the theory of relativity. So famous. The theory of relativity is too difficult for the average person to understand. Pay attention to this structure. 2 plus adjective plus, let me write it down. This is different from so plus adjective plus that plus a complete sentence. So on the one hand we have this structure, so plus adjective plus that plus a complete sentence. Here we have 2 plus adjective plus for somebody. It's optional, it could be eliminated, plus to do something. So 2 plus adjective plus for somebody could be omitted. It's optional to do something. For example, we say the same here example that I just gave you. The tea is so hot that I cannot drink it. I can put it in this way. The tea is too hot for me to drink. I'm sorry, to drink. You see the difference? Okay. Grammar is like mathematics. You need to just pay attention to that. Actually, in formulas, it's somehow formulaic. You know, it's formula based. My uncle has a theory about the effect of weather on baseball batters. My uncle has a theory about the effect or impact or influence of weather on baseball batters. Baseball players, those who bat or hit the ball with the bat or a stick that they have in their hand. Okay, no one has advanced a theory explaining the beginning of writing. No one has advanced or proposed or, let's say, promoted promoted a theory explaining about the beginning or the genesis or the start of writing. It's not true. I have personally read a lot of articles on the beginning of actually writing. For example, it was mentioned that the first examples of writing passages were reflected in the walls of caves when our ancestors used to live in caves. Okay, so this sentence, I don't believe in this sentence very much. Okay, number 8. Descend means go or come down from a higher place to a lower one. The antonym of that is, antonym means exact opposite, and name of descend is, I'm sorry, descend is ascend. So descent has a downward trend, and ascent has an upward trend. Okay, so descent goes down, ascent goes up. If we let the air out of a balloon, it will have to descend. So it's clear. If we just deflate, also you can say deflate, means remove the air of a balloon, so it will just go down. The pilot, thinking his plane was in peril, descended quickly. The pilot or conductor of an airplane, thinking that or considering that his plane was in peril or danger, just landed the plane quickly. So it just took off. You know, for airplanes, you say take off when the plane just loses its touch from the ground, and when it just let's say returns back to the airport, we call that it lands on the airport. So land. Sentence C. Knowing her beau was waiting at the bottom of the staircase, Eleanor, I don't know how to pronounce it, descended at once. Knowing that means while she was knowing that, the subject of this structure of this phrase is, or clause is, Eleanor. So knowing that her boyfriend was waiting at the bottom of the staircase, or we say downstairs, simply you can say downstairs. Eleanor descended or just went down at once, immediately, because she was waiting for him. Sentence word 9. Circulate means to go around, go from place to place or person to person in a circle format. You know circle? I'm sure you know. Okay. A fan may circulate the air in summer, but it doesn't cool it. A fan is a very simple digital appliance or gadget that is intended to just combat heat during the summer, but according to the sentence, that is correct, it does not cool the weather. So you need to have a cooler or cooling system. Okay. Okay, it's clear. My father circulated among the guests at the party and made them feel comfortable. So my father is a very hospitable person. Let me write it down. Hospitable means so warm-hearted and sociable, particularly in the presence of guests. You know, we have host and hostess as female host. Okay, so my father is a very hospitable host and very friendly to the guests. So host and guests are, let's say, antonyms or opposite in terms of meaning, but not, I mean, they are not against each other, they complete each other. Okay, so sentence C, hot water circulates through the pipes in the building, keeping the room warm. Hot water circulates or go through the pipes, it's clear, the building, keeping the room warm. It's a kind of central heating system. Sentence word 10, enormous. Okay, enormous means extremely large and huge. Extremely large, huge, it's clear. The enormous crab moved across the ocean floor in search of food. Crab is a sea animal, moved across, or actually to some extent I think it is eatable. We have lobster, that is that belongs almost to the same family of animals, and seafood. Across the ocean floor or seabed, the bottom of the ocean, in search of food, searching for food, looking for food. Public hangings once drew enormous crowds. Public hanging, public capital punishment in the form of hanging. Let me write it down. Capital punishment. Or death penalty. It's a kind of retribution through which a criminal actually gets killed by the government. And when it is public, it is executed in public, in front of people. Once means once upon a time, drew or gathered a lot of attention, and people used to just gather around that event to see it, to watch it. Okay. The gallant knight drew his sword and killed the enormous dragon. So it's a part of mythology. Gallant means brave, bold. Knight is a soldier, particularly in a special clothes made of metal. Drew his sword or took it off and killed the enormous dragon. Again, another let's say a creature that belongs to mythology. And word 11, predict, means tell beforehand. You know, pre means before, and dict means say in Latin. So say something before. Yeah, to tell something in advance also you can say. Prediction is the noun form. Weathermen can predict the weather correctly most of the time, or weather forecasters. Weather forecaster, those who forecast weather conditions. Most of the time they just predict it correctly. Who can predict the winner of the Super Bowl this year? It's a question. Who can predict who will win? I think it's a kind of gambling or lottery of Super Bowl. It's with capital S. I'm not familiar with that. Okay. And sentence C. Laura thought she could predict what I would do, but she was wrong. So she thought that she could just predict or foresee. Also, you can say foresee. What I would do, but I forestall. It means that I did something that was beyond somebody's imagination. So, vanish, the last word, means disappear and disappear suddenly. Fade. Even in California, the sun will sometimes vanish behind a cloud, because California is notorious for having sunny and shiny weather. But sometimes, even, that's why we have even, in California the sun will sometimes vanish, or it is covered by some slices or pieces of cloud, or it goes behind clouds. Okay. Not even a powerful witch can make a jealous lover vanish. Witch refers to an imaginary creature, usually a woman, a very ugly and hideous woman in black cloaks that are supposed to have magical, superhuman power. Can make a jealous lover vanish. Pay attention to this causative structure. Make somebody do something. Make somebody do something. It means force somebody to do something. Make somebody, for example, we say the parents made the children go to bed at night, because actually it was time for them to go to bed. For example, they should go to school tomorrow or the following day. So make the children as the object go to bed. We don't say go to bed. You see, this is causative structure. Again, sentence C. Give him a week without a job and all his money will vanish. Well, if he doesn't have a job, well, he cannot have money, because actually he gets his money from his job. It's clear. Jobless people cannot have so much money. Okay. So, as usual, you can leave your comments here at the bottom of our community, at the bottom of each post. You know, LELB Society has over 430 posts. So, and the number is increasing every day. And at the bottom of each post, there is a comment form. You don't need to create an account. You can use your social media accounts to just actually join our interactive activities. And also, I just wanted to call your attention to this point, that if you think that you can have cooperation with me, I'm open to cooperation, and you can earn money. You know, if you are a good teacher and you want to teach at our community, and also if you for example have something really worthwhile that you would like to share with us, and anything actually, I'm open to criticism and also cooperation. If you have something to just share, you know, I've recently added this one, traitor. This is the a plugin that links my community to Instagram, and on which you can have access to over 600 flashcards. So if you're not a subscriber or follower on Instagram, just follow me on Instagram, and you will receive at least one beautifully let's say engineered or architectured flashcard that can help you to learn English better. And also please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I also upload this video on Apparat because YouTube is filtered or censored in Iran, so I just want to have my own viewers on Apparat in Iran. And also, if you want to participate, if you plan to participate in the IELTS or TOEFL exam, essay writing, I don't know, interviewing, English conversation classes, and vocabulary enrichment, grammar enrichment, and practicing. So I suppose that actually you are smart enough actually to cut off the expenditures and costs of let's say transportation, and also save your time and money, so you can just attend our online classes and get the most out of your time, and I guarantee your academic satisfaction. So if you have cooperation with if you like to cooperate with me, you can contact me at the bottom of the, or let's say in the at the footer of my website. You can have my contact information and contact me to have cooperation with me and anything that comes into your mind. Okay, thank you very much, and take care.